What
guy.
is it you wanted to speak about?
I've already spoken to the peacekeepers a bunch of times. How many times do I gotta say it?
Hasn't the culprit already been arrested?
Well, I don't mind. I have time to talk.
How long are you going to stand around like some tombstone? Our time is short. Why do you think we've gathered them here?
Oh, yeah. We have to question them, right?
It's your move. Play your card.
Do I really have to do this? I guess Halara seems intent on being the assistant.
In my opinion,
The fat guy is
it would be
innocent.
much faster if Halara did this, Master.
But I have to do it. No point in wasting time thinking about it.
Time for an investigation.
He can't fit through the window.
Excuse me, but you are...
Do you even have to ask? You know who I am.
Huh? No, I think today is the first time we've met.
What? You're investigating the Nailman and you don't know who I am?
What's that supposed to mean?
But enough to either repel or get down without a fear of
This
heights?
must be the clergy member on the report who was the first to find
And the other
out.
part is like, I admit he's probably wide enough to move that thing more than 75% up on the way out. Therefore, locking it up if you have to jump down.
I was the first on the scene.
Right, it was on the report. I'm impressed Halara was able to realize it so quickly.
I've been attending every day since I was first baptized here as a child. That's how pious I am. But I don't work here, so it's not like I'm a clergy member. I just love mystical places like this. There's an otherworldly feeling to it, you know? I love researching this type of stuff, which is why I've been keeping an eye on Nailman activity for a while now.
So, you know a lot about the Nailman.
That's an understatement. In fact, you could say I'm an expert in Nailman research.
In that case, what do you think about the clock tower murder? Though it seems the suspect has already been arrested.
I think he was framed.
You do? Then who do you think the real killer is?
The real Nailman, obviously. The peacekeepers.
Why are we assuming it's a
Big
man?
Mistake. Listen, the Nailman exists.
Yeah.
The Nailman is summoned through a ritual and commits murder based on a sacrificial doll.
That's impossible.
Yeah, I get it. You probably want proof. In that case, look for a doll in the forest. You'll find a nailed doll with a name tag for the Dark Ceremony. Whoever's name is on it is the Nailman's next target. Just follow someone in town with the same name. If you're lucky, you might have a run-in with the Nailman. Unfortunately, I wasn't so lucky.
We've missed him by just a hair 4 times already.
I see. So you can guess the next victim based on each doll's name tag.
I was so close at the clock tower, too.
We found someone whose name matched a name tag, and figured out she was heading to the clock tower. I called the peacekeepers and entered the clock tower, but I was too late.
Damn it. If only I'd acted sooner. I was so close to meeting the Nailman.
Guess he just wants to meet the Nailman and doesn't care about preventing the murders. So he's an occult enthusiast? Seems like a huge weirdo.
What are you, blind? I'm a nun, obviously.
Convincing.
You've got some nerve. Calling me here out of nowhere. Do you know how busy I am with choir practice? I'll kill your ass in the name of God.
Sorry.
She's the type my master has trouble with.
I'll have you know, my dad is a higher up at Amaterasu Corporation. I don't care if you're on a mission from the Peacekeepers. If you piss me off, Papa will make you regret it.
The guy in the back has loafers.
Right. I'd just like to ask some questions. I'll keep it quick. Do you know anything about this Nailman?
You mean the guy nailing up dolls? Well, I have seen someone going into the forest late at night. Whenever I've gone into the forest afterward, I usually find dolls nailed to the trees. The dolls have names written in what looks like blood. It's creepy as hell, really. In other words, it's totally metal.
I see. By the way, what happened to your right hand? Did you get hurt?
Hey, don't stare. It's nothing. I went a little overboard while practicing an instrument.
Instrument?
I'm working on this new thing I call death metal choir. I was messing around on the bass and, well, you know.
Is that your dominant hand?
What kind of question is that? You want to die or something?
Oh,
It is her dominant hand. I'm sure of it.
I see. Are you the priest of this church?
That's right. My family has served this church. Though I only became a man of the cloth in recent years, the blood of martyrs spanning centuries dwells within me. Thus, my existence is but a piece of the eternal prayers offered. That is my mission, as the divine has guided me to do.
I don't get why, but he sure seems proud to be a priest.
Do you know about the nail man?
Of course. I have no idea how that rumor spread around. Perhaps it was even started by a wish made by those seeking salvation, which created the fantasy of the nail man.
Salvation? The people of this city must be crazy if they look to the nail man for salvation.
Hey, that actually sounds kind of cool. I know how they feel. I want to tie you up and go to a world where it's just you and me, Master.
Isn't it basically already like that?
He's got some mad loafers there. She looks like she has like those boots, like platform feet. Guy also has loafers as well, though, so.
And you are...
I do the odd jobs, like cleaning around the church. I also care for the forest.
Oh.
Do you know anything about the nail man?
I often patrol the woods, but I'm usually asleep at night. When morning comes around, there are dolls nailed to the trees. It's tough to clean all of them up. I've never seen the nail man himself, but I've seen people enter the forest plenty of times.
Have you ever talked to them?
I have, but they typically run away. Some get surprised and leave their nails and doll behind. I chase after them to give them back their dolls, but I'm never fast enough. They always get away.
Doesn't seem like the behavior fitting a nail man, because he would just keep it.
That makes sense with a body like that.
I understand. Thank you very much.
Also cut off.
I've talked to everyone. Halara, is there anything you'd like to ask them?
Only end your turn once you've secured a shot at victory.
Does that mean I should gather more information? What else should I ask about? There have been several nailman cases. Does anyone know anything about past cases?
You know a lot about these things, right?
Yeah, you can ask me anything about the nail man, including all past cases. I was the first to find the body every time.
Oh, shit.
Huh? Every time?
There's no reason to look surprised. I already told you how I did it. I find dolls with name tags in the forest. Then, I look for whoever's supposed to be the next victim. But every time I find a victim, they're already dead.
Being the first on scene each time sounds super suspicious.
You think I'm suspicious, don't you? I suppose you would. The first person on the scene can always lie and say they discovered the body in a locked room. But the thing is, I've never been alone when I've discovered a body.
Like, I know he would know it's a locked room, but that's still very sus.
All of the crime scenes had no way in or out, so I'd open them with someone nearby, or by asking the peacekeepers.
So the body's discovery was never done alone. If that's true, then all the rooms really were locked.
Master, why don't you ask for more details about past cases for now?
Can you tell me more about each case?
There have been 3 nailman cases in the past 6 months. excluding the one at the clock tower. The first happened 6 months ago at a secret club in Kamasaki district. It's essentially a members-only casino. The victim owned the place. At the time, the Nailman was just a name you'd sometimes hear about in urban legend. But I had a personal interest in the Nailman, so I started researching him, and then it happened. I came across another murder while investigating a name tag I found in the forest. I knew then that it had to be the Nailman.
And that crime scene was also within a locked room?
Yeah. All of the Nailman crime scenes have common characteristics. There's always a corpse and doll coated in nails. And also, the murderer leaves no trace behind. Isn't that bizarre? See why I'm so interested in the Nailman?
I totally get it.
Don't empathize with him.
The secret club was the first locked room mystery. As for the second, it was at a mansion in the residential area near Ginma district. About 3 months ago, the owner of the mansion was murdered in the building's study. The crime scene again took place in a locked room with a corpse and doll covered in nails inside. Considering all this, there's no doubt it was committed by the Nailman. By then, I knew the legendary Nailman had descended upon Kanai Ward. The third locked room mystery occurred a month ago. A woman was killed in an art gallery storage in Ginma district. It also featured a body and a doll covered in nails in a completely locked room. And today, the fourth locked room mystery happened at the clock tower. That's every single Nailman case. At least, for now. I'm sure the Nailman will continue on. He will enact revenge for the people of Kanai Ward.
That reminds me. Is there any information about the dolls used in the Nailman ceremony? I know a few have been found at the crime scenes, too.
You find that stuff in any doll shop.
Doll shop?
Huh? You haven't seen one? What are you, a foreigner or something? Around here, all the craft shops have been selling fancy dolls for a long time. They were mostly souvenirs for tourists. But that industry is long gone now. Some places still sell them at steep discounts just to get rid of their stock. If you know where to look, you'll see mountains of illegally discarded dolls all over the place.
I see. So they aren't much of a clue given how easy they are to obtain. Has anyone noticed strange things happening near the church lately?
Wow, what a vague question.
Oh, now that you mention it,
What is it? Please, any small detail will help.
something strange was burning in the incinerator earlier.
What do you mean by...
Like, I thought it was a rope, but all I can say is it looked strange.
Can you try drawing what it looked like? It does look like some sort of bizarre rope.
It's like a centipede with legs missing from one side. Looks delicious.
I was worried that it wasn't supposed to be burned, so I tried to take it out, but I was too late. It was completely incinerated. I asked around to see if anyone knew about it, but everyone claimed they hadn't thrown away anything like it. The incinerator is surrounded by a locked fence. Only clergy can access it.
So, no one here recognized it?
I don't even work here in the first place.
Only clergy can access the incinerator, but no one claims to have thrown it away.
I don't know if this has anything to do with the case, but something's fishy.
A watchmaker was arrested earlier. He's suspected of being involved in the Nailman incident. Does anyone know anything about him?
A watchmaker? You mean G.A. Colin? I've asked him to fix the church clock several times. To think that he's the Nailman.
Well, it hasn't been proven that he's the culprit yet.
Oh, I see. But if it were him, no one would blame him.
What do you mean?
This city has completely changed. Everyone is seeking salvation in some way. The Nailman was born out of our situation.
You mean the Nailman is what the people actually wanted?
Many would certainly deny it, but the nailed dolls continue to appear in our forest. If the Nailman acts as their agent, then they are also the Nailman. In a way, that's how I see it. What do you think?
It's true. The Nailman could be seen as a savior to some people. After all, he kills the people you want dead for you. I mean, the victim had it coming for doing something worth getting killed over.
I think I've asked about everything I wanted to find out.
Looks like time is almost up. Let's get going.
Was that okay?
Yes, it will suffice. Thank you for your cooperation. You should study their faces well. They may end up being accused of the murders.
Huh?
You need to remember every face, so you can spot them even if they flee through a crowd.
Wait! Do you mean the actual culprit is one of them?
Perhaps. There's not enough information yet to act on. We have no time to waste. Let's investigate the other crime scenes. Best not to scramble what little gray matter rests in your head. So let's examine the crime scenes chronologically.
Okay. Well, the first murder occurred at... It's the secret club in the Kamasaki district, right?
Correct. Let's hurry. I won't allow time to be wasted.
Halara? I've been thinking. The first incident was 6 months ago, right? If we go to the crime scene now, there's nothing left to investigate.
You think it will be a waste of time? There's no need to worry about that.
So, you have a plan then?
What? You're working with Halara Nightmare. What more could you possibly ask? Now, let's be swift.
Huh? Right.
I don't really get it, but talk about confidence. Where's the secret club? I smell a mystery. I'm all hyped up.
This appears to be the crime scene, but it's sealed off. They've left it like this for 6 months?
No doubt they've shirked their obligation to clean up. I suspect the peacekeepers are lazy to a fault. It's open. Let's go inside. The peacekeepers may be sloppy, but even they wouldn't leave the crime scene completely untouched. The body was probably found around here. The victim's name is Suguma Iho, an old man who owned this place. His reputation left much to be desired. This place was an illegal casino operating at obscene rates. Even the cheating was rampant.
You sure know a lot about it. When did you...
I told you, I gathered my own intel while waiting at the cafe. The real interesting note is that this crime scene also had no way in or out. At the time of discovery, the door was locked from the inside.
There aren't any windows either, which is expected given that it's underground. There are air vents, but they have secure covers barring entry. Besides, no one's able to reach that high up.
No windows. The only way in and out is the door that was locked from the inside. It's a locked room mystery. Locked room mystery!
But there's not much more to investigate. We don't know what state the body was in at the time of discovery.
I told you not to worry. The conditions have all been met.
Conditions?
Don't tell me you've forgotten I'm a master detective.
Oh, your forte.
My forte is post-cognition, the power to see the past. However, it can only be used at murder scenes. To be precise, I can only see how the crime scene appeared at the time it was first discovered. Another way to describe it would be as crime scene limited psychometry, if that's easier to understand.
That's amazing! It's like the perfect forte for a detective!
My power allows me to see the moment the first witness saw the crime scene. Not the culprit, not the victim, but how it appeared when a third party first entered. The memory or perception of the witness does not affect my postcognition. What I see is what actually was there. When it comes to my power, the witness is not a camera or a recording device, but rather a trigger. Perhaps the best way to think of it is like a bookmark stuck between the pages of when the body was found. Well, there's no point in wasting more time explaining. Let's have a look.
That power sure is convenient. Explains all the confidence. It's similar to the Mystery Labyrinth, where I recreate the crime scene in your mind. But now it's done in the real world. Although, it is limited to both the crime scene and the moment of first discovery.
But still, it's amazing.
On the other hand, my master's got nothing. Why is life so unfair? Now I'm angry! Master, can I nibble on your heart to help cheer me up?
Of course not. Post-cognition. I wonder what it's like. All I can do is wait for the report.
Well, do I have some good news for you?
What is it this time?
Master, try to remember. Did you feel anything back on the Amaterasu Express? You know, when the other master detectives used their powers?
This sensation. I felt it when Aphex used his powers. Somehow, it feels like I can hear what Poochie hears. Right. I can sense whenever a master detective uses their power.
Yes, that's it! Maybe your coalescence will work now.
Coalescence?
Simply put, it's the ability to share someone else's power. On the train, you only felt the resonance of other people's fortes, but its true function is to share their powers.
Wait, then that means I can also see the scene in the past with Halara? That's amazing! Is this your ability, Shinigami?
Something like that. But there are conditions for it to activate. You must kiss someone to share their ability.
What? Kiss Halara?
Ha! I lied. Look at you blush. Did you really want to? You still don't know if Halara's a boy or a girl.
Oh, quit messing around and tell me how it works.
You need permission from the person sharing the ability first. Then, you must hold hands while the ability is active. That's it.
Okay, I can do that. Halara. Halara?
I need you to be quiet. I'm concentrating.
Sorry, but there's something I want to ask.
I'm muted because I probably sneezed and didn't turn it back on.
Coalescence. Hold hands. You and me.
Yes, that way I'll be able to see the past too. I think.
My sources made no mention of such an ability. In fact, you're just a trainee.
Yeah, but I just remembered I had it. Anyway, we don't have much time. Let's try it.
I have no intention of getting friendly with you.
Oh, it's not like that.
I despise you.
Huh?
Huh?
Just the thought of holding your hand makes my skin crawl.
I didn't know you hated me so much.
Ouch.
Let me be clear. I don't just hate you in particular. I despise all of humanity equally. I don't trust anyone. Except the dead.
I had a feeling. Halara must be a demon straight from hell.
Then why did you choose to help me with the investigation?
As I told you in the beginning, I always work sincerely for the payment I receive. As long as you promise payment, I will promise my utmost efforts as a professional.
Then please, hold my hand. It's necessary for the investigation. You can add this to my bill if you want. You'll agree then, right?
Fine. If it's what I must do as a detective, then I have no choice but to agree.
I can see it. Everything looks different than a moment ago. Incredible. So this is post-cognition.
Can you really see it? So your coalescence is real. I didn't expect you to already have your own forte. Well, this does save me the trouble of reporting it back to you. But it's quite inconvenient to keep our hands joined. Very well. Go ahead and lead the investigation.
Me?
If you can see what I see, that would be for the best. I'm only acting as your assistant, after all. This is quite the bizarre crime scene, but unusual crime scenes are expected when you work for the WDO. Now, let's see what you're capable of.
Investigation Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
That's...
Screwed down, so I don't think it'll open. I doubt the cover can be opened when it's like
Right.
this. Too early to conclude there is no useful information. Compare it with what I see in precognition. What's that red dot?
I see a body. The murder scene through Halara's eyes is completely silent. There are dolls nailed to the walls and floor, and a corpse pinned down with nails in a similar fashion. This all feels like a dream. It doesn't seem
Hanged as
real.
well.
There are abnormal decorations all around the crime scene. And it's so quiet. Hey, this vent. The cover is in place, but it hasn't been screwed on. Which means it could be easily removed, right?
What are you doing? You can't touch what you see in post-cognition, even if you happen to be 3 meters tall.
Oh, I see. But I think this will be an important clue. The vent is about 40 by 40 centimeters. A thin adult can probably pass through.
So far, that leaves the 3 people on the right and the fat guy out.
It's a man's corpse. He's probably around 60 years old. His body is pinned against the wall with countless nails. There isn't much bleeding, so the nails must have been hammered in after he died.
You're starting to get the hang of this. Not too shabby.
Oh, there are marks on him. Signs that he was strangled. The vertical scratch marks were probably made when he resisted.
The most basic of basic observations. Well, at least you noticed.
That's thanks to everything I taught you at the clock tower. I'm such an awesome mentor.
This situation is identical to the murder at the clock tower.
The culprit first strangled the victim to death, and then decorated the room afterward.
But what? I knew it.
Yeah.
That means the nailman's calling card. Nailed in the wall, seemingly around him, facing all directions. I can't find a pattern. Nothing can be connected to the culprit. Let's try checking someplace else.
By the way, did you notice the nail below the vent?
Below the vent?
That I did notice.
Huh. Some of the nails are bent downward. Maybe they were hammered in a hurry.
Someone stepped
Or
on him.
perhaps there's another reason.
Another reason? Yeah.
Nothing of interest in
Yeah.
the slot machines. A key?
Oh, there's a key in the glass. Is it the key to the room?
Seems like it. By the way, being an illegal casino, the security was extremely tight. There's only one master key. It's also a special key that can't be duplicated.
If it was thrown in from outside the vent, it wouldn't be inside the glass.
So this is definitely another locked room mystery. Hooray! I'm so glad I met you. What a rich...
The lock is broken. Maybe someone broke it and forced their way in, like at the clock tower. But from the looks of it, there's no sign of the lock or door being tampered with. That's...
Culprit knocked it down on purpose to throw off the investigation. Not much we can do for it. Let's check elsewhere.
I think that's about it.
We checked what we can.
That should do it. There isn't much else to investigate. I've never experienced this before, but it's surprisingly convenient to be able to share my post-cognition. It's exhausting to explain what I see to a client.
Really?
People do not believe what they cannot see. I have often been called a liar.
I suppose fortes aren't always convenient.
We still have locked room mysteries to examine. The second incident was at the mansion near Ginma District. I have an idea of where to go. Let's hurry there.
Blah.
The building we're heading to is accessed through Ginma District. Let's hurry there.
quest?
Say. Come on.
Let's talk to her.
I'm... Well?
Let's solve this thing.
Yeah. Well?
The daughter of a merchant who does business through a Kanai ward. Due to the family circumstances, it was decided I would have an arranged marriage. Thinking of what's best for her family, I should accept a proposal. But my suitor is an awful person. I heard with my own ears. He said he was only using my father.
Huh?
Why not talk to your father? There's nothing I do without proof. Besides, my father is very keen on him. When I told my father I didn't want to get married, he yelled at me and said I should cause trouble.
See.
That's why he ran away.
Aww.
No.
Say. Huh?
We're simping, apparently.
All right.
Hey.
That's true.
What does your father look like? Suit, navy blue from head to toe. It's his
I
favorite.
see.
Oh my god. Don't be sick, guys. Don't be sick.
Oh! Hmm? No. Well?
Huh?
Whoa! No. Yes. For now. that's what happened.
Well,
No.
huh?
There's a large mansion beyond the gate over there. I wonder if that's the second crime scene.
That's probably it. Let's go inside.
It's closed, as expected.
Are you sure?
Wait! It looks like a haunted mansion.
I hope there aren't any ghosts around. I have a feeling they'll appear this time.
I've been meaning to ask, but aren't you kind of a ghost yourself?
The incident occurred about 3 months ago. The victim was Ali Hohen, the owner of this mansion. He had no family and lived alone. The mansion is now empty and dilapidated. The crime scene is in the study near the back. Let's go. The Nailman killings had another common factor, besides the locked room. The first person to find the body was always the same person.
That worshiper from church? Do you suspect him too?
What he said did make sense. He's been obsessed with the Nailman and had access to the names of potential victims. It's not too surprising for him to be the first on the scene each time.
I guess I shouldn't assume things going into this.
That's right. It's down this hallway. The crime scene is in the room on the right side. There's little time. Let's head straight there.
Ha! Think you're partners now just because you held hands with my master? I'll have you know, Master and I are connected on a much deeper level.
Don't make it sound so suggestive.
Feels like a jump scare's coming up.
So this is the study where the crime took place.
Oh, it's open. I wonder if the lock was broken at the time of discovery here too. There's nothing left here either. It's
All I can say
cleaned
is I
up.
just said, just walk along.
I don't want to do it, but I suppose I can share my post-cognition again here.
Are you sure?
Don't make a big deal out of it. Just make it quick.
Here we go.
The crime scene of the murder is vividly brought to life before us. It all happens in silence, as though awakening from an eternal slumber. But the corpse will never wake up again. Even if the corpse did awaken, the nails pinning him down would prevent him from rising. The door is the only entrance and exit to the room. There are no windows and the vent is small. I don't see any escape routes from the locked room. Maybe the doll nailed to the wall holds the answer to this bizarre mystery.
Painting was tampered
What
with.
does that mean?
Must have looked at the landscape, but it's tilted. I wonder why. Could this be related to the locked room?
It appears.
Doubtful. Judging by the marks on the wall, I'd say this painting was hung at an angle. The peacekeepers must have altered it by mistake during their investigation. How confusing.
Oh!
Several dolls have been nailed to the floor. After the clock tower in the secret club, this makes 3. It doesn't make it any less creepy,
It's
though.
me.
Now it's not time to show fear. Investigate thoroughly and find the clues to solve the case.
I see.
Those have nothing in common. I don't see any usual
It
markings either.
appears.
Nothing to do with the case, then. Series of books is arranged neatly on a shelf. There's no indication the books have been moved. I don't think they've been related to the case. I agree. Let's look somewhere else.
Sit down right.
Switch for the projector on the desk. Looks like it was set to off when the corpse was found.
Oh!
Lamp's light is pointed at the table. It probably wasn't turned on in time. I don't see anything suspicious. Doesn't seem like a lamp related to the case. Why is that pair of books freaking out? Huge tank there, but it aren't any fish inside. Living things can't be seen through a cross-eyed issue. It doesn't have that ability. Projector installed at the center of the bookcase. It wasn't on the corpse when it was found. You'll never reach it, Master. I'll check it out for you. Well, did you find anything unusual? Nope, everything is extremely usual and unrelated to the case.
Let's check every nook and cranny.
That's the vent.
There's a vent, but it's too small for a person to fit through. And it's also screwed shut from the inside. It seems impossible to remove.
What's this now? Master, I discovered something. There are marks in the gap between the vents, like something scraped against it.
Really?
But given your height, you couldn't see it even if you stood on a chair.
Halara, can you use that chair to peek into the vent?
I will do so for 10,000 Xian.
You're charging me for it?
I jest.
Marks in the vent seem to be left by
Marks in the
strings rubbing
vent
against
seem-
it.
Did someone hitch a string? It shouldn't even be visible from your perspective. I'm surprised you noticed.
Oh, it was just a hunch.
See? I told you I'm useful. I do way more than just float around.
But you just float around.
You should give me 10,000 Xian as a reward.
I'm getting a headache.
The door here can only be locked with a key. However, there is only the master key.
No
The
spares
scenario
exist.
resembles the locked room mystery in the casino. The master key was found in this room at the time of discovery.
This is also similar to the locked room mystery in the secret club.
But there is one difference. The key was found underneath the corpse.
Under the corpse? But we can't move the corpse in the past, so we can't confirm if that's true.
Post-cognition isn't all-powerful, but it's a fact that the key was found under the corpse. I have a crime scene photo, taken back then, in my jacket pocket. No detail has slipped past my efforts.
Right.
Why did he reach?
What's this?
Wait, not that one. I meant the other one. This one is unrelated to the case.
Is it? You're right. The key is near the middle of his back.
Oh my god, that hurt.
But can this photo be trusted? Could it be something the peacekeepers fabricated?
The peacekeepers acknowledged the incident occurred in a locked room.
Holy shit.
Besides, there's no need for fabrication. After all, it would be more convenient for them to have fewer mysteries to deal with.
That's true. Sorry for being doubtful.
No,
If I wasn't sick, I probably would have laughed harder.
You're starting to figure out how to do your job.
Was that a compliment?
Is that really all it takes to please you?
Also, I drew a sketch of the room's state on the back of that photo. Remember it well.
Yeah, okay, but why a sketch? how can it help solve the mystery? Also, what was with that cat photo anyway? That's surprisingly cute.
Yeah.
Even his past several books lines the shelf. Seems like anything's
I've
different
seen
between
it.
them now. Probably not related.
There's only one doll nailed to the wall. Comparatively, there was a nearly obnoxious number of dolls nailed to the walls in the other crime scene. Maybe there was no room to nail them to the walls because of all the bookshelves in the way? Wait, this doll has both eyes gouged out. Did the culprit do this on purpose? This keeps getting more and more.
But it's kinda creepy cute. I want to put one next to the top of a staircase so people can run into it at night.
That's mean.
Why would you want to do that?
That's just straight up mean.
You know, this doll seems made of cheaper materials compared to the other ones.
Hey, you're right. Like it's made of resin instead of porcelain. The texture looks cheap, but also more durable.
Too bad it doesn't have eyeballs.
The eye holes are connected to each other in the head cavity. It's like that darkness is staring into me. Huh? There's a mark on the edge of the eye holes near the nose. It looks like a string rubbed against it. How did this mark get here? Cause of death
I can check it out, but you won't
appears
hear
to
the
be
audio.
strangulation as well.
I'll end the episode here real quick.